प्रियम बहुत पूछ लिया मेरे को ये पॉडकास्ट आपके बारे में, मेरे बारे में नहीं.
This is Priyam Saraswat, an IIT engineer turned accidental real estate content creator.
जो शुरू हुआ था एक दोस्त के सिंपल से आईफोन से टेरेस गार्डन का शूट बन गया एक पूरे देश का ऑब्सेशन. इन जस्ट 58 वीक्स प्रियम सरस्वत जो एक IIT इंजीनियर है बन गए एक एक्सीडेंटल क्रिएटर. ही इज बीन शोइंग हॉबिट हाउसेस इन करजत टू ताज महल एग्जैक्ट रेप्लिकास इन मिनिएचर्स. हिज रील्स हैव क्रॉस्ड टेंस ऑफ मिलियंस ऑफ व्यूज और उसमें से कोई 100 मिलियन व्यूज भी क्रॉस कर चुके हैं. आज के पॉडकास्ट में हम वही डिस्कस करेंगे प्रियम सरस्वत जी के साथ कि एक घर के वीडियो को ट्रूली वायरल कैसे करते हैं, उसकी कहानी कैसे बोली जाती है, विच इज मोर देन जस्ट अ सीमेंट एंड ब्रिक का कॉम्बिनेशन. What is the benchmark for you for virality?
Good reel for me is 10 million views. 10 million है तो अच्छा है.
And what is a bad reel? So good reel is 10
जो
million.
मेरा चल रहा है अभी, because so Instagram also shows you, कि what is it doing compared to your previous reels. There's a line. If you go to insights, it shows you, right? कि this hour by hour वो show करता है कि like for the first hour, where is this reel going to your past, I think 10 or 20 reels.
हर बार यार दिखाता है.
आप डालते हैं, आपको 15 मिनट बाद ही दिखाने लगता है वो कि after these 15 minutes it has hit this much views and this is your typical view.
हाँ.
तो you can compare.
हाँ.
तो वैसे है. तो जो मेरा अभी चल रहा है उस हिसाब से if it मतलब मेरा कुछ 4 बार मिलियन टाइप्स चल रहा है, तो if it is hitting like a million or sub million then it shows much below than my typical.
Okay.
वो मेरे लिए थोड़ा अच्छी परफॉर्मिंग नहीं है.
अच्छा, मसल फ्लेक्स ओवर है.
नहीं
मिलियन के थोड़े नीचे है तो दैट इज सब पार, बिलो पार फॉर मी.
Compared to the previous ones, but I don't feel I don't look at it that way. I think it's fine. It's just a number, and since Instagram is showing it, so I just love to.
How can you say a million, 2 million, 4 is just a number? It's underperforming for you. Anything which is over a million is underperforming for you.
And it's very subjective because until last year, if anything would have crossed when I started this, like, and I started very, very much, out of serendipity. And, I was just posting some vlogs here and there, some in New York, some here. I just wanted to talk to people and just wanted to listen their stories, right? So when I was doing that, at that time, probably anything, if it crossed probably 50,000 views, I would be like jumping and dancing that, wow, the reel got viral. So, I mean, everything is subjective. So, yeah, but that's why I'm a bit agnostic to it, but it's a stat and Instagram shows it to you that how is it performing compared to your previous 10, 15. So I just have a look at it. Since you asked specifically that what is a good performing reel and a not so good performing reel, so that's the quantum, yeah.
How did you start this?
So again, it was very much serendipitous. I'll go back in my college. I used to do VJing a lot, and I was part of the college ka skit wala group, like the
VJing is what? Video jockey.
Video jockey. So I graduated from IIT Guwahati. So there we used to have a very prominent theater club. So in theater also they were like different clubs, right? There was one club who were doing like serious stuff, right? They were going to these festivals and like performing like 2 or 3
theatrical clubs.
Proper theatrical clubs. It's a theater club, and we were part of it, but we were not doing the serious stuff. Our group was doing mostly the comedy sketches and the fun part of theater, right? So we were just doing like small sketches here and there, and I was doing VJing. So we used to have a lot of VJing contests. Every hostel had a designated VJ, so I was the VJ for my hostel, and we used to do certain events. We used to do small sketches again, and I was just interviewing people, interviewing some fictional characters, some funny skits. किसी को केजरीवाल बना के ले आए, किसी को हल्क बना के ले आए, and we are asking topics about different topics, LGBTQ हो गया, whatever, different things. So I used to just interview people, and I just loved talking to people and interviewing them, right? And of course, then we all go into life happens to people, right? And then we just forget what we were doing and what we were passionate about. But then suddenly, I got some time, and I got, okay, let's do something. Out of fun, let's make some content. So I was just doing some vlogs. I was traveling to US a lot. In New York, I was doing some vlogs here and there. And suddenly one vlog I made on the driverless car. So there's a driverless car in San Francisco. It's called the Waymo. So I took that and I just made a piece of content around it that I'm taking this driverless taxi, and I'm just traveling across San Francisco. And that reel, to my surprise, just blew up. I mean, it got like 7 million views in probably a month or so.
Wow.
So that was like, wow, this is crazy. There's something to it. And then it just, I just, posted a few more content pieces, and they hardly touched like 10, 20,000 views. To my previous point, that at that time, if something touches 50K, I would be like very happy. But then I came back to India. I was in Bangalore, and I genuinely felt, because when we were talking and doing discussions, house was. I realized that house is something which is very, very much personal. There's a very, very strong emotional connect, and nobody was covering houses from that lens. Is what I felt. I realized, and just to experiment, one of my friends, she had a nice terrace garden, like a not so plush house, but it was a very nicely done house. And she had nice elements which she did herself, like the pottery. She used to do pottery, तो वो pottery वाला element था. And overall, like very nicely, cutely done, and it had a nice garden on like 12th or 13th floor. So it was something different, and I thought, let's try it out, right? So we just switched on our iPhone camera, and I had someone to just put it, and I just started talking to her, and she was just walking me around her house. So that's about it. And we probably shot it in like not more than 20 minutes. Just switched on the camera, 20 minutes, we just walked around, and just ended, right? And I had literally zero expectation. As I said, that, even 50,000 views was a good number for me. And I just, probably in like next 30 minutes, while sitting with her, I just edited it, and I showed her. She said, wow, looks fine. Just post it. Yeah. So I posted it, right? Without actually any expectation. And when I posted it, it was Saturday morning, I remember, and April of 2024, I posted it, and in 2 days, it touched a million views, and probably in a week, it touched, I think, 4 million views. So I felt that, wow, this is something people are actually connecting with, because there's a person who is showing around what they have built, right? That's when I realized that there is something to it. People actually are relating a lot to the person, and there are various elements which came together. So it went viral, and then I thought that, okay, and I am, as I'm an engineer, and I try to take things analytically. So I felt that I tried a few formats, and this one is working, because psychologically people are somewhere connected to this type of content, right? That's when that's how it started, honestly. Yeah. And that that day, and cut to today, it's been almost 57, 58 weeks, and I have done 58 houses once a week. So yeah, that's how the journey has been for the past 1 year. Yeah.
It's very interesting. Uh, Two things I want to ask you.
Yes.
One, you said you are engineer.
Yeah.
So tell a little bit about the education background, where you are, what you're doing, and did you ever think that this is what you would do? You said you went to the US regularly. What do you do over there? Why do you go over there? And thirdly, above all of this, what I'm really interested to know from you is that you show some beautiful, unique houses right now. What was your initial reaction in the beginning when you saw that this video is reaching almost 4 to 7 million views? Beginning में इतने सारे views मिल रहे थे. As a person who's a creator, how did you feel that virality, that boost, that that adrenaline shot मिलता है कि अरे wow, मेरे videos इतने हैं. And then maybe the second video that you do does not do as well, it bombs. Then how do you feel? And also the reason that you think is why people are so much interested in watching these videos about homes. किसी और के घर के बारे में.
Nice. A pretty loaded question, but I'll take it step by step. So the first one about my journey, professional journey. So as I said, I'm an engineer. I graduated from IIT Guwahati and was part of the theatrical club and doing a lot of things. So as I said, it started there. I mean, in my school also, I used to do some drama. I was on stage, so I love being on stage somehow. So it's just in front of people. As I said, VJing is something that you are just in front of people.
You like that admiration, don't you? You like the stage.
I mean, I like the stage. I would not deny that. Of course, I've not done anything significant on stage, but it's just a feeling that when you are on stage, even if there are like 10 people or 20 people or 50 people. It's just a feeling, right? So yeah, so I'm an engineer and uh, uh, did this. Now I'm running a tech company also. So that business is in the US, and we build software products for restaurants. Let's not talk a lot about it because we are discussing content here. But yeah, that's the reason I went to the US, because we had a lot of clients and business there. It's a software tool, and the clients are in the US, so I used to travel, right? So that's how the overall vlogging thing started. That I felt that this is something which, in general, people, anything which I feel that I'm seeing from my eyes, and I feel that probably a big chunk of people back in India or somewhere around this planet should also experience this. I just feel the urge to switch on my camera and just shoot it and just post it without expecting a lot from it. That's something which I think helped me, at least in the initial days, because the expectation was not a lot, because I was anyway doing it as a side gig, and I felt the joy while making it. Right, that was sort of paramount for me, and that's how it started, and that's why I posted, right, the first video, just out of sheer curiosity. And I just felt that what I'm watching and what she's saying from her lens could be interesting, right? And that's how I posted it, and it went viral, right? So of course, when it goes viral, I mean, I felt amazing. I felt good that whatever piece of small content I put, people are loving it. People are engaging with it. So many banters were going on in the comment section. के ऐसे घर बॉम्बे में कहाँ है? People from all over the country were commenting. So I mean, overall, like, and when there's a personality involved, right? People talk about the person also. So I realized that, of course, the house is important, and that's the initial hook for which the people are watching. But the person is also equally important, right? That brings me to your third question: that why do actually people feel like watching these house tours from a different lens, right? So I feel that there are primarily three reasons, and I'll cover those three one by one. One is that, like, humans in general have that innate voyeurism. They just want to see they just want to peep or see what's going inside the houses around them, or some of the beautiful houses. That's why I think that entire that celebrity gossip, and that what's happening into their lives is an industry altogether, and there are probably 10, 12 big companies which are just doing media or journalism around their personal lives, right? So overall voyeurism, I feel, is very, very innate, and it's not an Indian thing. The same in the US, same in Europe, everywhere. Humans are, like, our brain is designed like that, right? We would just like want to see what's happening into uh, some of the other people's houses and lives, right? That is one reason, voyeurism. Second, I feel, especially the new generation, right, of India, I feel people are very, very aspirational. We undermine that at times, but I strongly feel that India in general, and especially the 18 to 35, 40 wala audience, is extremely aspirational. So whenever I post something, at some point they feel that I might have something like this, right? Or I'm aspiring to build a house like this in future. So that's why I have like millions of people just saving my reels. I don't know even if they watch it or not in future, but at that point at least they engage with it and they save it कि यार कभी तो मैं uh, ऐसा घर बनाऊंगा. So aspiration is I feel one very, very important aspect that people want to watch my content, and they relate कि यार कभी at some point I will build a house like this, right? Because I try not to actively scout for houses which are high in like commercial value or say, but somehow because I'll give you an example on that, right? I covered in the second house after the first house which went viral. A junior from my college, she only referred. She was very kind enough to refer that my neighbor, she has an amazing house. You should definitely come and visit. And she was kind enough to let me in. So when I went there, she was probably a 70, 75-year old. She is a 70, 75-year-old lady. Came back from Singapore and Bangalore, and that was just a 3 BHK house. So not very, very fancy bungalow or something with, again, a garden facing like some nice views of Bangalore. But the best part was that every part of every decor item, every painting, even the table, she drew herself, and she had a very big sort of you can call it an arts laboratory where she used to do all the experiments and used to make these decor items. So probably she made like 300, 400 decor items all by herself. And when I posted that, and that reel again, that was my first reel to cross 10 million views. So that reel again crossed 10 million views. And the best part was there were I'm not kidding. There were, I think, 3,000 or 4,000 people who shared that reel in their stories with the caption, my, like, and all are ladies, all are females, with the caption, my life when I turn 60, or my life when I grow
Sweet.
old. Yeah. So that's the aspiration angle, which is not just related to like the money or the commercial aspect कि इतना बड़ा घर बनाना है या इतना महंगा घर बनाना है, that I want to have this lifestyle when I grow up. So that is the aspiration which people look for when they find something which connects with their dream, when they want to grow up, or when they want to, just build their dream home. So second is the aspiration angle, which I feel works really well with the audience. And third, very very important one is inspiration. That when people see the houses, they try and take some parts of it and they try and implement it in their dream homes, in their home, in the current home, or their potential dream home. So that's why a lot of mothers send these to their kids कि यार कभी घर बनाओ तो ये ज़रूर करना. A lot of people, they send it to their spouses कि यार कभी घर बनाएंगे. So whenever we build our house, we'll definitely keep our garden like this, or our ceiling like this, or our bar like this, or our bedroom like this, right? So that is an inspirational angle, and I think that's why a lot of architects have designers have also started to follow my content. So thank you so much for doing so, and just trying to uh, give them some inspiration, because everyone can learn and get inspired from the beautiful stuff which people have done. I take zero credit for that. It's just these amazing homeowners who have done this beautiful stuff. So I think overall voyeurism and or social curiosity is the first reason. Second is of course aspiration, that at some point they would want to have something like this. And third is inspiration. When they're building, they just try to copy or mimic some parts from these houses. So I feel that these are the three pillars as to why people are not just watching, engaging, sharing, saving the piece of content which I create. Yeah.
Out of all of these houses, you said 58 right now you're done, right?
Yes. Yes.
Out of those 58, tell me one thing, which is the one that pops out the first in your mind, which would be like a home that you would like to stay in, number one. And the second one, which is the most atarangi, the most unique, the weirdest of them all.
Okay. Mine, very, very difficult, honestly, Ravi. It's almost impossible for me to answer, because I would want to take elements from all 58, some elements, because there's something in every house which I would want to take some inspiration from.
Start with the atarangi one. The one that
Let's start with the Atrangi one. ठीक है, चलो. So the Atrangi one is, I feel, I'll talk about. Let me talk about three, because it would be very unfair to
Go
name
for it,
one,
my
yeah.
friend.
So-
This is your platform. Go
Yeah.
for it.
So let me talk about three, right? Because the amount of passion with which those houses were made, I feel it's just out of the world. It's almost impossible for me. It was impossible for me to imagine that someone would go and take that path to build like their house, right? So let me start with the first one, which I did. That's a house which is built in a Hobbit theme. It's actually inside the land, right? And the ground or the garden is actually the roof, and it's built by two beautiful ladies. It's a mother daughter duo, and they actually took around 20 years to build that house. They went against all the odds. I think some 8 or 9 years just to get the permission, because nobody thought that this. There were no laws for this, right? Nobody thought that a house like this could be made in the country, right? So they had to, go around and take probably, I don't know, hundreds of permissions just to from so many authorities to get that piece of land and to get the permission to start the construction. And the lady always had a dream to just build like the best mountain house in India. That she wanted to build, of course, a mountain house, but it had to be actually in the mountains, not
Where
some
was
fancy house.
this?
This is in Karjat, like probably 3-4 hours from the Bombay
Yeah, around
city.
70 to 90, no, 70 kilometers from Mumbai, yeah.
Yeah, probably, but it takes 3-4 hours because the road is not the highway or something. So it takes
Okay.
3-4 hours, right? So but they were living in Bombay. They were living in Mumbai, South Bombay, and they wanted to build something in the mountains. So of course, Karjat was probably, they would have found all these pieces coming together in Karjat. So they started building this probably 8-9 years just to get the permission. That's the, I mean, anyone else would just give up, right? Okay, yaar, we'll just probably make it in Himachal, Shimla with the traditional style. Why to do all this drama of getting the
There's a
roof and
different
building
level
something
of
inside?
different level of passion when people want to see
Insane.
their homes.
Insane passion,
So
yeah.
it took them around 9 years to get the permissions and another 9 to 10 years to build it.
Just to build it, and I'll tell you why. they wanted everything to be done in a certain way. I'll give a very small example, like the window, like the panels, right? Nobody was doing that in India, or probably globally. So they had to just find certain karigars, call them from across the country to that place, sit with them. They used to stay in Bombay. They used to commute after work. They used to travel to Karjat every day for like probably 8, 9, 10 years. Can you imagine, like 3 hours jana, वहाँ पे फिर रात को काम करना, and then probably coming back tomorrow the next morning and go to work, right? And they would have done it for, I think so, almost 70 to 80% of the time in this 8, 9, 10 years, right? I'm talking about. That is insane passion, right? Every small element, right? Detailing for the light. They wanted like the lights to be natural. So वहाँ पे you see these lights, right? These are like, there's a bulb. वहाँ पे they have natural light. So they've designed it in a way that the sunlight becomes like a bulb and it just comes inside. Yeah. So many. This is just 2 or 3 elements. There are literally 100 such elements, right? It's probably an hour-long. Probably interview just with the owners. How did they make this, right? So, but it has come out beautifully, and I feel it's a wonder in itself, from all the angles, and just it is just sheer passion, and that hunger to build something which she always wanted to build, right? Since her birth. So that is one house. Another one is a very interesting person, a very interesting house. So he is a biker. He is very passionate about riding, and he is actually an award-winning rider. And he has covered with a Luna, like that moped. That moped he has taken to mountains, and he's traveled, I think, some 3,000 kilometers in like some insane terrains. He's taken that moped, and president also awarded him for that ride, right? So he works in a garage. He used to work in a garage, like proper mechanic garage, probably earning like very less money, right? But he wanted to build a house for himself. He did not have a house and did not have the money to build the house. So garage mein there are every day there's a lot of scrape. कि कुछ part टूट गया, like the handle of a scooter, which is like 50-year-old scooter. Nobody's gonna use that handle of a Bajaj Chetak right now. Or probably kuch clutch plate from a scraped car, right? Multiple things, right? And those are all like scrape, no value, right? So whatever used to go in the waste from his garage, he used to just collect it, right? And he went ahead and actually built a house out of all that scrape. And very nicely done, creatively done. If you see that video, I've pinned that also on my profile if you want to watch it. It is insane. It was like when I went there, and that person actually doesn't care ke, people are covering this house or something. He was just kind enough to have me. And that person did not want any fame or something. He was just like very much into himself, and he's very much into the rider community. So the rider community is very, I would say, close knit, and he had all the friends coming in. People actually come from Germany, from Scotland, just to meet this guy in Kerala, because that's the community. But I'm just saying that this guy was so passionate about bikes and riding, and in general, like when you go to the house, there's like a small reception kind of thing. That's the ambassador ka seat. So that's sort of waiting. That's sort of waiting area.
in the video.
The windows are actually of the built out of tires. The sink, where you wash your hands, is actually the petrol pump ka nozzle.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, right? And everything is looking very aesthetic. So it's not just that he's dumped those scrapes and built something. Every element was done very thoughtfully, very creatively. And the best part was that this rider community came together. Someone offered this help, someone offered that help, and probably 50, 70 riders came together, and they helped him build the dream house for this guy. So yeah, that is something which I think is very atrangi, very quirky, as we were talking about. And third one, which is my recent favorite, I just posted it like 10 days ago, is the guy who has actually built the house in the shape of a Taj Mahal. It's a exact Taj Mahal replica, 1/3 of the size of the original Taj Mahal. And that is another story which I feel is very crazy. Like nobody in their sane mind will wake up in the morning and think about building a house which is like a Taj Mahal, right? So he always wanted to do that, and he actually took like what do we call, the measuring tapes to the original Taj Mahal, just to check this is the ratio of the dimensions, proportions. The dome itself took like years and years to build and perfect. And the best part is, you watch it from any angle, right? It is the same symmetry, and it looks exactly like the original. So the effort is humongous. I mean, of course, when it's down right there, you can feel कि Taj Mahal को copy किया है, but trust me, it's a lot of effort. Everything is very much similar to to the original Taj Mahal, and yeah, it's like again like the whole village came together. I think to get that house built, and yeah, it's again a masterpiece, and that's an example of house, not just being brick and mortar and the architecture and the design. It's much more. It's the passion of the homeowners. It's the lineage of the homeowners, and I think everything together builds like something as spectacular as these houses. And my part is very small. I just try and cover these stories, and I just try and just make it to the masses and let the
Which
people see
one
it.
would you live in? These are the three which are very different. Which
Yeah.
one do you see yourself living in?
I mean, 58, probably 58 divided by 52, probably like a week in each house. We have 1 year.
That's a very diplomatic answer.
No, sir, I'm very honest. And the best part is, when I visit these houses, all of them are like very good friends now. I don't think that any one of them will reject my call even at the midnight. Probably there's 90% chance that they will pick up my call, and they're all like good friends, and same for me also. I'm in touch with every. Of course, now with so many houses, gets a bit difficult to keep in touch with everyone, but they're all good friends now, and I think they will allow me to stay for a week.
That's sweet.
Yeah. So I
Sweet.
mean, yeah, it's very difficult to choose one. As I said, that, and if I'm building mine, when I'm building, probably I'll take elements from like there's one house which is very close to my heart. The lady has built it in form of a jungle. When the moment you enter, it's like probably thousands of trees, and it's, I'm sure the carbon footprint of that house is negative, and it's generating more this thing. So yeah, I mean, people have just gone out of the way, and they have broken the traditional norms, and they've just followed their dream and their passion. So that's what I think sets apart these houses from the
But
traditional ones.
do you see yourself? So let me ask you,
Yeah.
not the house, but let me
Yeah.
ask you: do you see yourself living in a concrete jungle, a city? Do you see yourselves living in the mountains, or do you see yourself living in a right next to a beachfront, like palm trees and coconut?
Ah. I would definitely be not living in like a traditional apartment in a city. That is something which I would not prefer. But if life happens and if I have to live, I'll probably decorate it in a way which is matching the vibe of myself and my personality. But if given an option, I think my dream house would be at the beach, mountains in the background.
You want to move to California, Route
Yeah,
101?
California 101 is love. Yeah, I mean, those are like very expensive houses though. Yeah, like probably 10 $20 million houses. But yeah, I mean, those are like some insanely amazing houses. Yeah, if that's why all the billionaires are living there. There's a reason to that. Yeah.
Have you driven through that 101?
Yeah. I was there like
Oh yeah, you
last
took that
month
trailer
only.
thing, no?
Yeah, last month only.
How
Yeah.
was that, man?
That was crazy. Yeah, that was crazy. So I mean, yeah, it was like an RV. Again, I wanted to experience that RV thing. And just out of the blue, we
What
just
made you decide that? Live in a van with a kitchen, with a bathroom, with like beds and everything else in a small, what is 150 square feet?
Yeah, not even that. Yeah, I mean
On
there
wheels?
there are yeah. I mean, so that's why it feels weird to us staying in India, but there it's a very common phenomenon. Trust me, people just take a 1 month break and just take an RV and just go.
There are RV parks.
There are RV parks. Yes,
For them to park over there, people
Yes.
stay there for months.
yes.
Sometimes they travel all over the world and then they come over here. So what made you do that?
I just wanted
Like
to
a
experience
nomad
that.
life.
Yeah, I just wanted to experience that lifestyle honestly, because it's super scenic, so it doesn't make sense to stay at some fancy hotel, which is like, does not make sense, right? If you have to experience it, you have to literally wake up in that view, right? So the moment you open that door of the RV, so one of our stays, one of our RV park was actually just at the ocean, at the cliff. So we were just at the cliff, samne, just the ocean and like rugged mountains, and it was beautiful. And we were just staying right there, and there was like a whatever fireplace. So you do fire. There's a kitchen, so you make your food. You go out at the fire, and it's cold, of course. In the night, there's a fireplace, and they're like the RV park, so there are like probably 10, 20 more mad people around you. So yeah, we would just
Passion.
chit chat. Yeah, passion. And for us, it's a because I feel there, and nothing against it. Indians are hardworking, but I feel at times they get so busy in their lives that they forget to enjoy life as it should be. But that's something which you have to give credit to the people in the West, because they take their personal life and how they are enjoying their life equally seriously as they take their work. So they are very particular about their vacations, about their whatever they're passionate about, right? People just take their surfboard and they just vanish for a month and they just surf on different beaches, right? It's a very common phenomenon between the surfers. And similarly for these people, they'll just take the RV, they'll just go and they'll just just travel around, because US, of course, the roads are very scenic. So I mean, living on the road
Why did you want to experience this?
why? Because it's a new thing to experience. First of all, I did it the very hacky way. I did not do it a proper way. We just did it for like 8-9 days. But we were on the road, so we had two options: either book like hotels and Airbnbs on the way, or just get probably our house in the car itself. Right, that's the best way, because like you can just stay, park it anywhere, any legit parking space, beach mein wahin pe ruk gaye. So this by the way, this spot which I'm talking about with
Cliff.
the cliff, we did not plan ke yahan pe rukenge and stuff. We were just passing by. We felt, oh yeah, this RV park looks good. Let's see. We just went there and we found it good and we just parked the RV there and we just stayed there. We did our barbecue. And so that's the fun part, that it was very, very spontaneous, not planned. And I think those are the best parts. I think the best things in life happen like this. My content journey honestly started very, very spontaneously and serendipitously. So I think the best things happen unplanned. I'm sure it would have happened to you also many times. The best things in your life are just like unplanned. We'll talk about that later. But I feel that I just want to try something. I felt like trying and not go to the traditional Airbnb hotel route when I was planning this trip. And it just was an experiment, rather a successful one. Yeah, yeah.
The best memories that stay with you for a lifelong are the ones which are unplanned, which are spontaneous.
Yeah.
They could be good, they could be bad,
Yeah.
but they are a beautiful memory that you
Memories.
live. Either you enjoy it, relish it, or you learn from it.
Absolutely.
Those are the two things.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. A lot of screw ups also happen. I'm just telling you a rosy picture, but there are like negatives to it as well, right?
Give me
you
one that pops up.
washroom, the washroom.
But don't you have one in there?
Yeah, but then come on, we're not very comfortable using that, no? I mean,
Why not? It's okay,
mean,
man.
use it once.
Have you gone to the washroom
Use
in
it
the
once.
at the railway station in Andheri station?
Similar feeling there.
No, my friend. There is nothing similar. You might have to change because it's all septic in there. No?
No, I'll
might-
tell you one thing. So at one of the RV parks, they had something called a honey bucket. I mean, it was just like a static thing. Just the pot was static, and it was, I think, very close to this Andheri station thing you're talking about. Let's not go.
Let's
in
not go
detail.
into that.
Yeah.
So, I wanted to ask you two things.
Yes.
Okay. पहला चीज़ मैंने आपको एक रिकमेंडेशन दिया था कि आप YouTube वीडियोस क्यों नहीं बनाते हो. आप शॉर्ट फॉर्म ही बनाते हो, आप YouTube वीडियोस नहीं बनाते हो. एक चीज़ वो. दूसरा कंप्लीटली डिफरेंट टॉपिक है. आजकल AI आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस से बहुत वीडियोस बनते हैं. लोग अपना वो AI बॉडी बनाते हैं एंड देन दे हैव दीज पीपल हु आर just regurgitating the scripts which is all mentioned. From a person who actually physically visits all the properties and meets people and talks to them and they're passionate about everything, what do you think AI is going to be a part of when it comes to this social media transformation? So first is, why are you not doing full-fledged YouTube videos? Because I would love to see that. And second, how is AI going to disrupt the future of video generation?
First question. Of course, broader answer is that attention span of people is less in general. Not to defend why I'm not making a long format, but first reason is this: right? People are busy in their lives, and people, if you can somehow create a magic and squeeze whatever message, emotions you wanted to convey in a short format, I think it's a better solution rather than letting the viewers go through a longer format. But having said that, I feel that I have not done justice to many houses in the short format, and I need to do that more. So going forward, for sure, I'm gonna create more long format content. It's just that I shoot in vertical format and horizontal, like long format. You need horizontal this thing. it gets a little difficult to convert it to the vertical format, because whatever we say, people's attention span has reduced drastically, and the viewership is, for any content creator, the viewership is more on the shorter format. But nothing against long format. As I said, I want to do it, I would love to do it, and I think I'm not doing justice to some of the houses with the shorter format. So for sure, long format is coming soon.
When?
Probably next month or so, you will see some good long format content, and the houses where I feel I have not done justice, I'm gonna do it again. Especially the three ones which I talked about: the Hobbit house, the house with the the spare parts, and the Taj Mahal. For sure, I'm gonna do the long formats very very soon. I'm gonna do it, and at least 10 to 15 minute video. As I said, that there are so many untold stories which I was not able to convey because of the time constraint. So for sure, I'm gonna do the long format. That's the first question. Second, very very important, I think AI. Everyone is talking about it, right? Everyone feels that AI content, and the world will with which is very much AI backwards, will take over many things which we do, and I completely agree to that point. That AI, the way AI is evolving, the way we have, like, come to think of it, Chat GPT is probably just 2 years old, not even 2 years old. Can you imagine, like 2 years ago we did not have Chat GPT in our lives, and now you can't imagine our lives without that, right? So AI is taking over many essential things in our life, and I would not deny that. But still, I feel like the content which me and you create, right, is actually real estate, right? Because I feel some things will be real, because we will ultimately be living in a real world. We will ultimately be eating like real food, right? We will be whatever you may say, but we will still talk to our, we would still want to meet our friends and family every now and then. We would still want to travel and visit places in reality every now and then. And I feel in this post AI world, experiences will probably shoot up much more than anything else, because a lot of other things will get commoditized. So I feel, at least for me, I feel that I would not want to implement a lot of AI in what I do, because what I do is capturing emotions and passions and stories of real people and the real houses, right? So, and especially in the world where we see a lot of AI and a lot of things are actually happening with AI. Actually, these emotions and these stories will, I feel, keep the humanity alive and going forward, right? If everything starts becoming artificial, then I think we'll probably leave the essence of humanity, right? So there are some things which we need to keep intact, and this is like houses and the stories of some of the amazing houses, I feel, should be kept physical and not artificial, like real and not artificial. So I would want to probably never implement it in a significant way. Some things here and there, if it's just making my work easier, for sure I would implement. But largely, the content, I feel, will be very much real and physical, and not AI. Yeah.
Yeah, I think in the real estate field, AI can be helpful, but only to a limited format. I think AI can help you visualize what you can get,
Yeah.
where you are sitting down and you can say an empty space, and the person can just type in the prompt, and then AI can tell you what it will look like in the
Yes,
future, or
for
what
sure.
renders you might get, which might be a little detrimental to the people who do the renders
Yeah.
from the industry aspect, because I played around with it a little bit.
Mm.
And I went to a commercial office space, and
Yeah.
I took a picture of it and I told it to show me different formats.
Okay. Nice.
So I told him, make this into a podcast room.
Oh.
And it made it
Okay.
into a beautiful podcast
Very
room.
nice.
Then I told, make this into a traditional office. It made it into a traditional office. Then I asked it, give me an ostentatious, over the top office, completely blinged out.
Wow.
And it had the chair was a throne, which was like the manager's, the MD's cabin में जो था ना वैसा दिखाया था उसने, and the it was a wooden desk, looked like the bloody Resolute from the Oval Office, and the chair behind was a Maharaja का chair. मैं बोला ये क्या है ये सब? But it was fun to play around with it. So
Yeah.
I think that might help us, but not in the way where you can replace people unless technology catches up to you, and then they're just completely replacing us with all kinds of people.
Yeah, I mean, that's a possibility. I hope it doesn't happen. It's a far-fetched possibility for sure. I feel it should not happen, because as humans, we need to retain certain elements which humans do, right? And if we are just replacing everything, then what's the point of even living? That's what I feel.
Don't you think that when AI comes in, there will be a betterment for the people who are physically doing it? See, maybe you, me are there who have been in a certain space already for you around 2 3 years, for me around 5 years. So for us, people might even think that they are older generation, they are the first generation, the goat or whatever you call them.
Yeah.
So you have them, और the new public जो आएगी वो लोग AI generated होंगे, पर वो replacement is not going to happen, and I think it will give boost to actual humans. Do you think that will happen?
No, productivity boost. I have experienced it myself. I'll tell you, like, for a lot of things I used to take hours and hours. Now I could do that in like 10 minutes. So that is happening already. I think productivity boost and a lot of tasks being outsourced to AI. That is, I think, actually happening. The extent to which it will happen in future, honestly, that is very uncertain. But I don't want it to go to an extent where the physical interactions are just not happening. I don't want that to happen. But there is a scary possibility. I won't deny that. Yeah. But on talking on about your point that you designed this amazing space and you could just use AI to do that in a beautiful way. You think that the upcoming architects and designers should be scared that their jobs might just go?
They should be scared. I don't know whether their jobs will go, but I think they should be scared. I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
That same day when I was doing this, one of my old school friends called me up and told me that one of his friends was looking for to collaborate with me on this same exact thing of to go into places and render. And she's like, if you have any one person who you can recommend to me. So I sent those pictures to my friend and I told him that this is what AI can generate for me. She is like, I paid 25,000 to 40,000 rupees for this. Well, I got this done in 5 minutes. In 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Right there and then, I realized that this could completely wipe out an entire genre of work. So that is a very true possibility. The architects, not the architects, I would say these graphic designers and the renders that need to be done, they need to worry, they need to up their game.
Yeah.
I don't think human element is ever going to go away. It always be there.
Correct.
But you also have to, as an individual, have to up your game. Otherwise, you're going to be left behind. And that's true with content creation also.
Yeah, exactly.
Every time when there is like you have a trend going on, I have a set of things going on. There are things where people catch up to you. You could be the trendsetter. You could be the first person, the first mover advantage. But sooner or later, people will start emulating you. People will start imitating. You will start taking things away. And they will eat up into your margin. And this is across all industries. So you have to always keep on improving.
Upskilling yourself, improving. Yeah.
Finding ways to go to your, part 2, your part 3, your part 4, and keep getting better.
Correct. So you feel that would it be right to say that only the creative aspect of creation, be it architecture, be it design, decor, that will just remain, and the commodity part you were mentioning, rendering and that stuff will just, of course, be taken over by AI, but creative part, you still feel that humans will be needed for that?
You always see, AI is only going to generate based on what your imagination is. Now, what you are going to type into AI or say to AI is limited to what you have in your engineering world. There is this thing called garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah.
So if you put in garbage in AI, you are going to get garbage out.
Yeah.
But if you put quality prompts, then it is going to give you quality. Now, that not everybody can have. In this room, we have 6 people, including you and me, there are 6 people. If each 6 individual is supposed to give a prompt out for the same thing, all the 6 outputs are going to be different.
For sure. Yeah.
So that's what is going to really get to the individual.
Correct. Yeah.
Maybe 20 years, 30 years down the road, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, probably owners could just type in that this is my plot and this is what I want to build, and probably there would be a layer of 3D printing which could actually just build the house also. So you
3D printing is going to be big.
Yeah.
You had visited a house
Yeah,
in Pune which was 3D printed, right?
Yeah, so it's starting for sure. Of course, there are many limitations. There's only certain type of construction which could happen right now. A lot of creative stuff cannot be done. But I mean, you never know. Future is, as I said, weird and scary and exciting all at the same time.
Have
Yeah.
you ever done a tour of any house which is like a block by block? You know what? Fabricated homes?
Not really. Not really. I mean, I've just went. Rest all were. What exactly is fabricated? Sorry, can you repeat?
Fabricated homes are basically, these homes are made outside and then they
Oh,
are
they.
come and collected together. You see that a lot in the
That
US.
is happening a lot in US. It's a very common construction practice, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't think it's implemented. Now people are doing these in the mountains.
A-frame.
They do, yeah, the A-frame houses in the mountains and all. But that's a very common practice. If you go to the suburbs of San Francisco, the Bay Area, mountain view, I think 70-80% houses are like this. That those are not like the structure below is not that prominent, and they are like very much above the ground and very easy to dismantle and
Yeah.
so, करके. So pros and cons, I feel pros and cons to that. It works very well there because the contours and the overall permissions and all are like very much. I mean, it's very well thoughtfully. It's very thoughtfully done. India में वो हर जगह वो possible नहीं होगा. So you need to plan and think about it. But it's definitely one style of construction which could be. For me, I don't think so. I've visited any such house yet. But it's a common construction practice, yeah, which is there.
How long do you think you're going to continue doing this before you go on to the next level?
Next level, I am not sure. I think level is subjective, but how long I'm gonna do it, I feel there are close to, I think 1.2, 1.3 billion houses in the world. 7 billion people, 1.2, 1.3 billion houses in the world. And I genuinely feel just like the human DNA, every two humans are different. I feel just like the human DNA, no two houses are same. Like just pick up any two houses, even if they are like exactly same in construction. In an apartment, you see, right? There are 1,000 houses, but if you when you enter the house, every single of those 1,000 houses will feel different in a completely different way. Just because the owners, just because the house is not just uh, you know a physical piece of architecture, design, and concrete, right? House is much more than that. House is probably the lineage, the history of the owners, right? It's the passion and hobbies of the owner. It's the travel history of the owner. It's just about what they want to do with their life and how they want to live their life, right? It's a story around that. So I feel, as I said, every 1.2 billion homes on this planet are different, and I think it'll take like multiple lives to cover all of those. So I think I have lifelong of content for sure, and I would want to continue doing it until I could do it. And not just India. I feel there are houses. I'll tell you, there are houses in Japan I want to visit, like when, especially in the season when there are like blossoms everywhere. So I would want to visit Japan at that point. I would want to visit some insane houses in Antarctica at some point. I would want to visit some amazingly done houses in Bali. There are some insane houses in the US which I saw. You were talking about the 101 highway and the houses with the coastline and the mountains. So I think there are, as I said, uh, billion houses, and millions of them. They are they have a story to tell, and I think yeah, I would love to visit and just cover those stories. So I think I would want to do this like for the life for sure. Yeah. Ravi, I think we have talked a lot about my journey, about my content. You are like undoubtedly the king of real estate, especially when it comes to digital. Come on, you are, you know it. Especially when it
Ah,
comes
it's
to the
true.
digital channels and leveraging digital channels, right? So I'll start with a very very fundamental question, right? Let's say there is and you interact with thousands and thousands of potential home buyers, right? Who are all aspiring to buy a house, and we all agree that house is the most prized possession someone could have in their lifetime, right? Be it Mukesh Ambani to someone who has just started his or her career. House is the most significant investment they would ever do in their life, right? So let's start with the the very very basic initial thought process, right? When someone wants to buy a house, right? How do they think about it? Do they think in terms of a complete financial asset, or do they think more emotionally or irrationally when they want to purchase a house? What is your, like, you have talked to, you continue talking to so many homeowners and potential homeowners which are just thinking about buying a house. So what is their like thought process like usually?
It's both. It's both. You have to think about uh, see, buying a home is always and always will be an emotional decision. Where does that emotion arise from? That emotion arises from the well-being of your parents, well-being of your family, your wife, your child. It is a long-term thinking process. You have to think from, and when I say well-being of your parents are going to grow old. You want them to live next to you or live with you. You want them to be within the neighborhood which they have spent entire lifetime in. They don't want to uproot and go to a different neighborhood where they don't know anyone. Now, say, imagine if someone is your dad might be 55, your mom must be like, dad and mom must be 55, 60 years old, and you're trying to bring them closer to your home. Then you want them nearby for any kind of, God forbid, something happens. You want to be there.
Correct.
That's an emotion. That's an emotion of fear. That's an emotion of caring.
Correct.
Then you want them to go down, have a building with amenities, chill, have their own network around.
Yeah.
If they're walking around, then the neighborhood should be good. Three homes down, 3 buildings down, 3 bungalows down.
Yeah.
Those people are there. So they walk around the neighborhood. You want to make sure that the roads are safe.
Yeah.
The clean for them to meet. There's a park, there's a garden. If they're going down the building in a city like Mumbai or Bangalore,
Yeah.
then you want the amenities within the community itself so that they can just go down. That's a safety aspect for them.
Correct.
That's a joy aspect. We are humans. We want interaction. So that is another set of emotion. Your child is there. You want to give your child a good environment where he or she is able to play, enjoy nature, interact with other kids, get their social skills improved.
Yeah.
There are so many parents who come to me and they say that we want to move to a new apartment or on a home. Whether they want to buy or they want to rent is irrelevant, but they want to do it because the child doesn't get to play with anyone else in the building because there are no other children in the building. And then it affects the social skills of the kid. He gets to do it in school.
Absolutely.
But then the moment they come home for the remaining 4 or 5 hours, the kid comes home at 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Correct.
And then they're not able to go and play anywhere else. So that makes a huge impact. That is your growth of a child. That's also an emotion.
Absolutely.
Then if the husband and wife, and nowadays a lot of it happens is that both are working parents.
Correct.
So they are out.
Yeah.
So they want to see that there is the child, when the child comes back, they have a nanny or a caretaker or the in-laws are staying or the parents are staying. And they want to make sure that it's a nice garonda, a nest.
Correct.
So emotion is usually the primary aspect, which is then backed up by finance.
Correct.
Because there is only so much that people can afford, especially in a city like Mumbai or Bangalore or Hyderabad, where prices, in some cities, prices are still affordable. In other cities, it's skyrocketed,
Yeah.
where it's impossible to afford a home in the neighborhood that you've probably grown up with.
Correct.
Your salary and your income might not have quadrupled or, quintuplet or increased as much as the prices of the property at that point in time. So you have to then think about your emotional aspect with the financial aspect. So you have to mix it up.
Mix it up.
Obviously, you can't, just because you're feeling कि भाई मेरे को घर खरीदना है और मेरे को ये चाहिए लेकिन पैसा नहीं है, तो ऐसा नहीं चलता है. तो वो आदमी को फिर थोड़ा कॉम्प्रोमाइज भी करना पड़ता है. So finance is a major part of it, and emotions is also a major part driving it.
Got it. I would want to double down on the financial aspect, right? There's a very, very controversial sort of opinion, especially driven by a lot of, no offense, driven by a lot of, these financial influencers, right? That buying a house is not so good financial. It's almost stupidity, right? As per them, that you should never go ahead and purchase a house. You should always go for a rented one. So what's and you of course know this market in and out, right? You know how, what's the perception? So what are your initial thoughts?
What is that sentence? Please tell me that sentence right now.
You know, a lot of people, you have
What versus what?
buy versus rent, of course. Yeah. Yeah. So what's your take on that? Because you know the market in and out, you know how it works. Yeah.
I met a financial influencer yesterday.
Okay.
Very popular financial influencer. He's a sweetheart. Sweet guy.
Yeah.
And his friend was sitting and she was saying that this guy doesn't believe in buying. This guy believes only in renting. He keeps on talking about these Excel sheets.
Yeah.
And then she's saying, but I strongly believe in buying. I have a house here, I have a house there, I'm building this, I'm building that. And then both of them went into a little, back and forth,
Yeah.
like a healthy conversation, debate. Okay. Then I asked that gentleman one question. Where were you during COVID?
Hmm.
All right. He said, I was at my parents' house.
Hmm.
Okay. Your parents' house was rented? Like, no, they own their house.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
You left everything during COVID and eventually you went to your parents' home, which is
Yeah.
owned. I have this one strong belief that no matter where you come from or where you are, one home should be in your name.
Correct.
एक घर अपने नाम पे हमेशा होना चाहिए. That's it. That
Correct.
is your safety, that is your security, that is your rainy day space. It is always said. I had this Sonia Shenoy. I had done an interview with Sonia Shenoy from CNBC, ex CNBC host. And she had asked me and told me, Ravi, why should someone buy? And I told her very simple. It is always been roti, kapda, makan.
Yeah.
Nobody ever came and told you roti, kapda और stocks. किसी ने सुना है? कभी लाइफ में सुना है किसने बोलते हुए? नहीं बोला है. It's a roti, kapda, makan.
Yeah.
You know Maslow's theory of
hierarchy,
that.
yeah. Yeah.
Hierarchy, right? Which is at the bottom. And that's a proven theoretical, psychological thing.
Correct.
In that also, it's very simple and clean said कि you need food, you need clothing, and you need shelter.
Yeah.
So first figure that out. Then you want to go rent, you want to do anything, you want to rent your home and live on rent somewhere else on a very upscale house, because the majority of the argument these guys have is that I can buy a house at say 10 crores, 1 crore, whatever, and the same amount I can rent a bigger house for the EMI I'm paying over there.
Correct.
But that's fine. But then after 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, you're going to, the guy is going to throw you out.
Yeah.
And you keep moving again.
Yeah.
They don't understand. There are a lot of these financial influencers also very young.
Yeah.
They don't understand the stability that a owned home gives you. They don't understand the longevity, the peace of mind that you get.
Yeah.
They are only वो एक्सेल शीट में ही देखते हैं. जब वो लोग की शादी होगी, वो लोग की वाइफ आएंगे, बच्चे होंगे, that's when they'll realize the value of a owned home. No father is going to give a daughter to a person who doesn't own a home. They want to know. When this proposal came for my wife's family, they did a whole recce on me.
Yeah.
They saw कितना घर है इसका, किधर घर है, कौन से घर, मेरी बेटी कहाँ रहेगी. So very particular.
And the joy of making things like as I was saying, right, it's an emotion, and you want to keep the house a certain way. You would not want to do that in a rented house, right? You would want to do that in the house you own, right? That passion of a rented house, but you won't feel like doing things which you would want to do in your own house, right? So I think that's also one very big factor into consideration. आपका घर होता है, then you probably design it the way you want to do it. Otherwise, you keep on delaying it, and you just
no
don't.
restrictions.
Yeah, there are no
You're
restrictions.
the king
Exactly.
of your own throne, king of your own
Exactly.
land. Even a tiger needs 30 kilometers of their own radius. They need a 30 kilometers radius as land
Correct.
of their own so that they
Yeah.
can prey. And if anyone comes into this, they pounce on it.
Correct. Awesome. Okay, so now I think we have an answer to this. You should have at least one home of your
Yes.
own, at least one. Perfect. Now let's talk about, let's say, someone is probably starting a career or, slightly settled mid-phase in career. How should they, and let's say living in a tier 1 city, Bombay, Bangalore, Delhi, NCR, right? How should he or she think about a house, buying a house, right? What are the factors they should consider? What are some typical do's and don'ts they should follow, right? Because a lot of my audience is typically 25 to like 18 to 40. So, and a lot of them are thinking about buying their first house, right? So, how should they overall think about their first house? What are the factors to consider? Some do's and don'ts, some pitfalls where a lot of these young people fall into, right? Because you have so much experience and you have seen those pitfalls also where people are suffering miserably, right? So, something you want to highlight and educate the audience around their first house if they've decided to buy and they are going against the financial influencers.
अगर घर खरीदना है ना तो पहला, so if you're say it depends on what stage of life you are in. If you are say 25 years old then figure out if you're going to be staying in that city for a long period of time. Real estate has always been a long term game. So if you're going to be in the city at least for the next 5 to 7 years to 9 years or 10 years, and you foresee that you're not going to go anywhere else, you know, if besides your unforeseeable things, but if majority of the time if you think कि भाई मैं ये शहर में रहने वाला हूँ, मुंबई शहर में रहने वाला हूँ, या दिल्ली or Calcutta or any of these cities, then buy a home.
Okay.
If you are unsure that you do not know whether your job is going to take, your business is going to take, then rent. Then don't buy a house. You know, think of it from that aspect. Think of it in a long-term game. Now, a lot of times people do, how do I put this in the right way? People like the house, they buy the house, but they don't do a recce of the location. They need to see what is around that place also, not just from the connectivity aspect, but from the safety and security aspect. You have to see the house, see the locality, the immediate locality, maybe a 500 meter to 1 kilometer radius of that house during the daytime and during the night time. You should see that because it's very important as to what happens in the evening. So you see the house during the daylight and see what kind of sunlight, how breeze, what is the demographics of the building, how are the things around the building, and come and visit it again in the evening and spend like an hour, 2 hours just sitting over there and checking out different locations. You'll get to know exactly what happens in that house. Speak to the neighbors. Understand what the neighbors are saying. Speak to the watchman. Find out how many times does water come, light jata hai, nahi aata hai. So you have to do a little bit of that recce. If you have a broker who specifically worked in that area, he or she will have knowledge about it as long as he or she is ethical. So that is one very big factor. Because नहीं तो फिर वो लोग बेचने की कोशिश करते रहेंगे. So these are like 2-3 typical things that you have to keep in mind.
Talking a little bit about the brokers, you feel that the brokers, of course, they have a very, very high incentive just to sell at any cost. How much percentage of the brokers you feel are ethical and they are genuinely conveying the right picture, and they are actually going ahead and saying no for certain properties that you should definitely not buy this?
Many of them are there.
They do that?
Many brokers, they understand the value of the service that they have to give, and they know. See, this is a very high ticket purchase, once in a lifetime, maybe twice in a lifetime purchase.
Correct.
People don't buy a home every day. It's not like going to the grocery store or picking up a phone and calling Swiggy or something.
Yeah.
So, well, you don't pick up a phone to call Swiggy. You actually go do that.
Yeah.
So it's not something that you do it. And they know the value of references. So good brokers know the value of references.
Correct.
And there is an innate joy in giving someone a home and knowing that that person is going to raise a family, is going to be, you know, doing something productive, spending the rest of their lives happily over there. No good broker would want their client to be unhappy.
Correct. Yeah, it's a very noble profession. If you come to think of it, you are actually giving someone not just their dream home, their dream life in a way, right? Because people spend significant chunk of their life in a home, right, which they have built. So for sure, it's a very noble job. Now, talking about like brokers, and because I spend a lot of time in the US, and in US, trust me, real estate brokers, those are rock stars. That's considered like a dream job, and they earn insane money, and they have like people like look at them in a I would say in an aspirational way. You think India is lagging behind in that regard, and like real estate brokers and brokerage is still not I don't know, considered as a dream job for many. What do you think about that?
It's a very tough question. The generations of people who have come as brokers, the image of the individual is एक हाथ में एक पाउच है, पर्स है, पान खा रहा है, चश्मा डाल के अरे साहब ले लो, ये देख लो, ये बहुत बढ़िया है. That is the typical image because that has always been the standard of the people. Brokerage used to be a lot of people's weekend jobs. It used to be a low entry barrier job. Anybody and everybody can do it. I did a video with the Fancho group. Sham and Dhruv, I had done a video, हर घर broker.
हाँ जी, तो आपने बात समझ ली ना, अपना फ्लैट बेचना है So just find me a buyer, please.
और रवि जी घर बेचना आपने बताया नहीं हमें.
पर आप तो वॉचमैन हो.
वॉचमैन तो साइड बिजनेस है. अरे मेन धंधा हमारा एस्टेट एजेंट का है.
स्टेशन चलो.
अरे स्टेशन बाद में, पहले घर बेचने निकाले हो, मेरे को नहीं पता है तुम.
पर आप तो रिक्शा वाले हो.
रिक्शा साइड में चलाता हूँ, असली धंधा अपना दलाली का है.
उसमें the buildings, watchman, secretary, everyone became a broker.
Okay, interesting.
So it was even iska istri wala was the broker. So that is been the norm. But now the second generation of people that are coming in, the children of the first generation, they're driving Mercedes, they're polished, they're English speaking, they're educated.
Correct.
So this will take time. It is, and if you go to see in the US, overseas, they've had those rules for almost 30 years, 40 years.
Correct.
We just got our rules in 2017. It's not even been a decade.
Yeah.
Then on top of that, we had learned, we have gone forward. Even if you go to see a place like Dubai, they consider brokers to be like posh, and they're walking around in suits, they're coming around in Beamers and BMWs and Mercedes, and some of them are even Lamborghinis and Rolls Royce.
Most of them actually.
Yeah, they made tons of money. They minted money left
insane
and
money.
right.
And they close like deals $50 million, $80 million, and they make like millions of dollars for themselves.
Correct. But RERA over there also came in 2008. When did RERA come in Dubai? When the entire the Lehman Brothers fiasco happened in the US and the entire Dubai market tanked. That's when they realized that, we need to fix this. So they came 2008. That was almost 10 years before us. Plus, Dubai is a different organized market. You have the US, which is an organized market. India is still, no matter what, when it comes to real estate, is an unorganized market.
That's why you feel that overall brokers, as a profession, it's just evolving.
It's evolving. The next generation is very smart. I meet a lot of these kids of their fathers. The fathers are still the same way that, the typical vision that you will have of a real estate broker, but the kids are very polished. Very polished.
Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, now I feel Ravi, you have taken like we'll talk a little bit about the brokerage and the industry overall, right? You have given it like a very nice spin, right? You have leveraged social media to its fullest potential to probably do a lot of business on the internet, right? So what overall, I mean, whatever you're comfortable answering, what percentage of your overall business you feel you find via social media, and how has this overall social media game impacted your business? I'm sure it's impacted in a very positive way. But how do you see the overall industry going on? Because I'll tell you from my reference, right? I see on Instagram and I find like thousands of brokers. I think everyone in Dubai and the US, they have their Instagram page. At least they have a page. It's probably because nobody is visiting the website. Everyone is on Instagram. Rather than probably having a website, they feel that, we should just come out and just make content. So how do you feel social media content is in a way disrupting the industry, and how have you benefited from this in the journey you have been?
You know what a CAC is, right?
Yeah, of course. Customer acquisition cost, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think a customer acquisition cost is when you post a property or a video on social media?
On social media, it should be minimal because it's organic. Because there's no ad, it should be close to zero only, I think. Yeah. Yeah.
So where someone is paying 2,000, 4,000, 5,000 rupees for getting one customer, you're getting it for zero. That in itself is disruption.
Correct. Yeah.
Complete and absolute disruption. Getting the views, doing the content creation, maybe that takes time and a little bit of investment when it comes to your equipment.
Correct.
But that is nominal. And that's a one-time cost, not a repetitive cost. So definitely a disruption. The second part is, how much do I get? That is an information that I myself do not have at this point of time.
Got it. Fair.
I grew too fast, too quick, too big.
Yeah.
Which made it a little difficult for me to do what I was supposed to do. So this growth that I got was, I didn't expect it. मेरे को नहीं मालूम था कि ये ऐसा होएगा या ऐसा बलून होएगा. तो जब हुआ तो मैं थोड़ा बैक ट्रैक लिया. इनफैक्ट मैंने अभी I've taken a step back. I've taken couple of steps back where I'm trying to just make sure that the foundation of my company is so strong that if I am not there, the company still survives. So that's what I am kind of focusing on this point of time. Majority of my clients actually come from references.
Okay.
Majority of my clients, because मैं आज से नहीं कर रहा हूँ, मैं 15 साल से ये कर रहा हूँ. मेरे पिताजी भी बैठ के रियल एस्टेट में ही थे, ही वॉज एन इन्वेस्टर. तो वो टाइम से जो लोग मेरे को जानते थे, देन मेरे फैमिली ग्रुप्स, मेरे फ्रेंड सर्कल, देव ऑलवेज बीन, I've always hung around in the certain set of people who have been very financially savvy individuals. तो मेरे रेफरेंसेस बहुत आते हैं. इवन आज के डेट में भी इफ आई एम गेटिंग 10 phone calls ना, I would say bare minimum 5 are there from references of my friends, family or people within my old client network. So if tomorrow my social media is kaput gone, it's not that I am back in the ground or zero. My business will continue.
But it is giving you a nice uptick for sure, and you have a leverage compared to other, of course, because you have a massive following. That definitely gives you an edge, right, above other.
No, I've
brokers.
kept it also separate, no? Like I've got Instagram, I've got YouTube.
Yeah.
That's why I was telling you should do YouTube, because I would be one of the watchers. I like Chotu, but I am not the Chotu kind of person. I want to sit down on the TV, relax and watch. Even if you make a 45-minute long video, na, I will sit down and watch it. Because मेरे को मजा आता है. And then उसमें characters आता है. So that is what. So मेरा जो leverage है is YouTube, it's Instagram, it's LinkedIn, it's everywhere.
So you get leads from all the channels and you get business.
I in fact started with YouTube first. प्रियम बहुत पूछ लिया मेरे को ये podcast आपके बारे में, मेरे बारे में नहीं है. Let's shift the focus back to you. Tell me one thing. If you were not doing this, real estate तो just happened by chance, ठीक है?
Yes.
अगर ये नहीं करोगे तो content creation में what is that one thing that you would really enjoy doing?
Ravi, broadly, I just love talking to people and covering their stories. So अगर अभी जो मैं करता हूँ, what I do right now is like a podcast for a house. Like I cover the different aspects of a house. Probably I'll just do general podcasting and cover like general stories which are not in the limelight, right? What we watch right now are very, very selective stories, right? In any format, be it traditional journalism या फिर abhi the podcasting which is happening. I feel they cover very selective stories which are phenomenal, by the way. But I think there are very, very insane untold stories. Like whenever I take an Uber ride, honestly, I get to learn a lot from the person who is riding an Uber, right? Har shahar mein everyone has a very different perspective, different lens. I just try and get to of course I stay in Bangalore, so it takes insane amount of time to reach from point A to B.
Let's not talk about Bangalore traffic. I will get a lot of hate messages and comments.
Yeah, so I mean, of course, you spend a lot of time, right? So why not make a new friend every time you take a ride? So I just talk, and I feel that there are so many like insane stories and passions. Like he's riding an Uber, but probably he's like very much talented, probably equally talented as people who have made it, but just because of their circumstances, they could not ride. So probably giving those stories a nice platform is something I would want to do genuinely, because I feel there are so many untold stories. So and plus I love talking to people. I love that VJing bit, so I would want to retain that and do that. Honestly, yeah, probably like a van or something where I'm just taking that and just traveling around the world and talking to people and covering stories.
Would you be the person sitting in the back, or would you be the person sitting in the front driving? Where do you see yourself?
Very good question. If I'm driving, I won't be able to ask questions and concentrate. So maybe someone else would be driving, or we'll see. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I can honestly do a podcast on Uber zone, because every Uber, it's a very nice content idea actually. I just got that.
Cab stories.
Cab stories, yes. So yeah, I mean, probably that when someone is already driving and I'm just taking the interview, because I feel please don't copy this idea.
I was just about to say that. Look at that. Don't copy this.
Please don't
Once
copy
we
this.
publish this, it is going to be copyrighted by
That's my
default.
IP, yeah, please don't do it. And if you are doing an equally amazing job than I would have done, then please do it. I think I'm the best still. No, just kidding. So, but yeah, I think this could be something I would want to do. And baki to अब चला तो चला, नहीं चला, then I'll see कि क्या चलेगा, then I'll do that.
No, but I think it will work.
I think so it will, because every person I feel has a story. As I said, that there are like 7 billion DNAs, and every person we are 6 people in this room. Everyone has had a very different journey in their life, right? And the path we will take will be very different from each other, right? So I feel that, and some of it is very, very exciting. And if you can just concise it in a 2-minute reel format, I think.
Oh, you need to do YouTube for this, man. You need to do YouTube for this.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, I feel that those could be very, very interesting stories which could be told. I would want to do that. But what about you? What would you have? Let's say, imagine a day when you just, wake up and you don't want to do real estate anymore. You are fed up with the clients and these phone calls and the content. And content is part, but let's say you have to build something new. What would you do that? What would you do? Yeah.
In this far seen, unforeseeable, hypothetical scenario that you're talking about,
Yeah.
I don't think it'll happen because I enjoy real estate. Like how you say stories and bricks. मैं बोलते रहता हूँ इन ईंटों में कहानी होती है.
Correct.
So if I'm not able to do that for whatever reasons, then I would fall back on my old business.
Which is?
Loose diamonds and diamond jewelry.
Oh, interesting.
In the US, in California, there's a school called Gemological Institute of America. I graduated from that back in 2001. I'd gone to the US just to study that. और उधर मैंने वैक्स कार्विंग किया था, कास्टिंग का कोर्स किया था, and I had done graduate gemologist. I am by education, I'm Bachelor's of Commerce and graduate gemologist, which I did over there. So I can grade diamonds, I can grade fake stones, genuine stones, precious stones, everything. But this is like, I left it almost 15, 18 years back. Back in 2009 or something, I left it. So a long time. But I would love to create content on that.
Interesting.
I would love to create content on that. I used to work for a company in Jersey and I was an appraiser. So I used to look at loose diamonds, I used to look at diamond jewelry, and I used to make reports on it for insurance.
Interesting.
So people used to go it and put it part of their home insurance. So in case of theft or something, they would get money for that and they don't have to pay it out of their pocket. $6,000, $8,000, $15,000, $20,000. Pretty expensive diamonds, big solid as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carats. So उधर मेरे को एक बार अपॉर्चुनिटी मिला था माइक्रोस्कोप के ऊपर कैमरा डालने का. And I used to take pictures of that. So I would love to make content on that.
Yeah.
And talk about the crown degrees, the bottom degrees, the impurities in it. I would love to make that. That would be a lot of fun.
For sure.
I would like, even now talking about it is making me all ticklish, making me
Getting
very
goosebumps.
nostalgic.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting too.
But I
Watch
think
gems and all.
we can close on this.
Let's do it. Thank you so much for having me. I had a great time, Ravi. Always a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you for coming. We should do something together also.
For sure. Let's do it. Yeah.
You want to do a tour of my house?
Let's do it. Yeah.
You can
Can
come and
can I get a house tour?
there you go. There you
Let's
go.
do it. Yeah.
We can do that.
Ravi's house coming very soon on my channel. Yeah. Let's do it.
Take care.
All right. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.
Same here. I should be saying that, but he's saying it. It's okay.